Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadanti Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatangamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagunatagnatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Radita Shri Vishakham Vidam Syam Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namotsude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabano Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupe Sagrupa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Budale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dhamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Chikshartha Mekha Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripam Budirgyastamaham Prabhadhye Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hari Om Tat Sat. We are reading from Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, chapter 23. We are continuing that. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the surrender of the living entity unto the absolute person. This surrender is made with full awareness of the devotee's oneness with the absolute person and at the same time his eternal position of servitorship toward him. So what is that oneness? It is referred to as the oneness of the same constitution with the Lord. What is the constitution? Satchidananda. We are also Satchidananda. So from that perspective, we are one in with the Supreme Lord. That is the oneness. But our eternal position is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. His eternal position of servitorship toward him. Okay, Nityadas. In the material conception, one falsely thinks himself to the Lord of all his service. Consequently, he is always troubled by the threefold miseries of the life. So, in the material conception, we think that we are the controller, we are the proprietor, we are the enjoyer, we are the master. So, in that misconception, we have to undergo the threefold miseries of life. Which are those threefold miseries? Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, and Adidevik. Why? Why we have to undergo? Because we think that we are independent of the Supreme Lord. We are not independent. We are always dependent. When we accept our dependency on the Supreme Lord, then only we'll be, taken away from the threefold miseries. As long as we think that we are the doer, we are the enjoyer, we are the master, we are the controller, we will have to undergo the threefold miseries apart from the four problems of life, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. But as soon as one comes to know his real position in transcendental service, he at once becomes freed from all the above mentioned threefold miseries. Okay, so when we know our real position, that we are dependent and we are servant of the Supreme Lord, not theoretically, but in Tattva, and when we live a life similar to that, similar to that line, then only we'll be freed from the threefold miseries. We should accept it and lead a life like that also. In an attempt to dominate material nature, the living entity is forced to offer service to the relative material energy. So here it says, we are trying to dominate the material nature. Can we dominate? We cannot, because material nature is also the potency, okay, of the Supreme Lord. We cannot dominate. We will be always subservient to the material nature, because it's also the potency of the Supreme Lord, energy of the Supreme Lord. So only when we offer our service, then we will be able to, live in a peaceful manner. So here it's that the living entity is forced to offer his service to relative material energy. Why it is relative? Because we are not matter, we are spirit soul. And if we don't obey the material nature, we'll be forced to offer the service to the material energy. When the service is transferred to the Lord in pure consciousness of spiritual identity, the living entity at once becomes free from the encumbrances of the material affection. So the only way is that we have to surrender to the Supreme Lord, who alone can take you out of the clutches of the material energy. Many times we have heard people telling that Maya is very strong. Is really Maya strong? What's your opinion? Is Maya strong?
Yes, Maya is very strong.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Maya is
Prabhuji.
strong.
Maybe Maya is strong,
Maya
so
is very
people are in the audience.
Okay, Maya is very strong. Okay. What about Mayuri Mataji? Is Maya very strong?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Actually, Maya is not strong. You know why? Our intentions are weak. Okay, our desire is weak. That's why we feel Maya is strong. If our intentions are strong, then Maya is not strong compared to our intention. Because our intentions are weak, we feel that Maya is strong. Okay. How we can make our intention strong? Our desire should be only to serve the Supreme Lord, to take Sharanagati of the Supreme Lord. If our intentions are strong, Maya will be weak. If our intentions are weak, then Maya is automatically strong. Got it? Actually, Maya is strong for those whose intentions are weak. Maya will become weak for those whose intentions are strong. Got it?
Yes,
Yeah. So for devotees, Maya is not strong because devotees have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. They don't consider themselves to be the doer, the master, the proprietor, the controller, the enjoyer. They always take shelter of the Supreme Lord. They depend on the Supreme Lord's mercy. For such, that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, no, Mayam edam tarindide. Devi hi esa gunamayi, mama maya durataya. Okay, this material energy of mind, this divine energy of mind is very difficult to overcome, to cross. Okay, Devi hi esa gunamayi, mama maya durataya. Mam evai, what is that? Prabhaddide mayam edam tarandide. Okay. When we take total surrender, shelter of the Supreme Lord, then it's very easy to cross over. The Maya becomes very, very weak. How? Just like, the material ocean. We cannot cross. Can we cross the material ocean with our own swimming expertise or skill? Yes, Vivek Prabhu, can you cross the Bengal Ocean from one end to the other by swimming?
Maybe with a strong determination, like we cross.
What is that?
Maybe with strong determination, some people are crossing English Channel, no? Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bengal Ocean, the Sagara.
Then that will be difficult.
It's not possible.
Yes.
Isn't it? Because, so that's why Krishna says, it's my divine energy. It's very difficult to cross over. But it is possible. when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, when we totally surrender to Supreme Lord, and that material ocean will become the water contained in the hoof print of a calf. In the rainy season, when the calf walks, there will be hoof print. In that water is gathered. Isn't it? Just you can cross over that. So that ocean, material ocean will become a small place where just like the hoof print of the calf. This will be very easy. So for devotees who have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, who depend totally on the Supreme Lord, for them that material big vast ocean will become very, very small, insignificant.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, I had a doubt. I did not understand. What did you tell about the calf thing just now? That what did
Calf means the what do you call it? The cow's child.
Yes, Prabhuji, that I understood, but I did not understand what you told about the ocean and the
The
calf
hoof,
thing.
the hoof, no? You know the calf's hoof, the leg, and when it in the rainy season it walks, it makes some sign, some imprint. In that there is water, it gathers water. So the material ocean will become like that small hoof print where the water is collected. So such a vast ocean will become very small. We can just cross it. We put just one leg, we can cross. So that big material ocean will become very small for devotees. You got it?
Prabhuji.
You got
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
example?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Like Prabhuji in Ramayana,
Yeah.
Bhakta Hanuman crossed the ocean with the name of Lord Rama.
Yeah.
But Rama has to build a setu to go there in the Lanka.
Yeah. So when you take when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, by his mercy it is possible. On our own, it's not possible. That's why he says, Devi hi esa gunamayi mama maya durte. It's not possible to overcome Maya, my divine energy.
Yes.
That is possible only for the devotees who have taken complete Saranagati of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Maya is not strong for devotees. It becomes weak. If their intentions are strong, Maya becomes weak. Okay. So over and above this, Srimad Bhagavatam is a personal commentary on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva after he had attained maturity in spiritual realization. So it said that the natural commentary of natural commentary of the Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam, which was compiled at its spiritual maturity. Who's Vyasadeva? He was able to write it by the mercy of Narada. Narada Maharshi, his spiritual master, inspired him to compile Srimad Bhagavatam, glorification of the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees. Srila Vyasadeva is an incarnation of Narayana, the personality of Godhead. He is a literary incarnation. Vyasadeva is known as literary incarnation. Therefore, there is no question about his authority. Although he is the author of all Vedic literature, he specifically recommends study of Srimad Bhagavatam above other books. So he has written many Vedas, Upanishads, and Puranas. But of all that, which book is recommended? Srimad Bhagavatam. Because it's called Amala Purana, the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. So if Vedas are considered or just like a tree, okay, we treat all the Vedas as a tree. Take an example of a tree. Okay, in the tree there are trunk, there are roots, there are branches, there are twigs, there are flowers, there are leaves, fruits. All are parts of the trees only. Which is the best part of the tree? Which is the best part of the tree? Fruit. And fruit also there are gradations, okay? Kacha, unripe, raw, then when it is ripe and fully ripened. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the Vedic literature. Okay? So, although it's all part of the tree, the trunk and the branches, the twig, the flowers and leaves and everything is all part of the tree. It's all compared to different Vedic literatures like Vedas, Upanishads, and Puranas, and Samhitas, Aranyakas, and all. But what is that ripened fruit of the Vedic tree? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. So now you got it. Everything is Vedas, but which is the best part? Fruit. So Srimad Bhagavatam is that ripened fruit of the Vedic literature. So that was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva at its spiritual maturity. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is recommended above all other Vedas, Vedic literatures. In other Puranas, various methods for worshipping demigods are mentioned, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, only worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead is mentioned. So in other Puranas, there are prescriptions for worshipping various demigods for various material benefits. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is recommended to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Specifically in this particular verse, Akama Sarva Kamova Moksha Kama Udaridi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeda Purusham. Whether you have no desire or all the desire, and you have desire for liberation, whatever may be the reason, we have to pray and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yajeta Purusham Para. So it is very clearly, very vividly, explained that in Srimad Bhagavatam that we have to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Adokshaja. The Supreme Lord is the whole body, okay, and the demigods are different parts of that body. Thus, one who worships the Supreme Lord need not worship the demigods, for the Supreme Lord is at once fixed in one's heart. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distinguished Srimad Bhagavatam from all other Puranas by recommending it as a spotless Purana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended over all other literatures this one literature that's called Srimad Bhagavatam. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam. Okay, what is that? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost literature. It is the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Pramanam Amalam. It is Amalam. It's uncontaminated. So thus one who worships the Supreme Lord need not worship the demigods, for the Supreme Lord is at once fixed in one's heart. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distinguished Srimad Bhagavatam from all other Puranas by recommending it as the spotless Purana. So it is all the Acharyas, especially in the line of Vaishnava tradition, they recommend Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Lord, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself recommends us Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, any questions or any comments?
Prabhuji, so which is the main religious text for the Hindus, the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Srimad Bhagavad Gita?
Srimad Bhagavatam is a graduate study. Srimad Bhagavatam is a post-graduation study. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a PhD study. Okay, got it?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. So the transcendental message is received through the ears by the method of submissive hearing. And how do we get this message? This transcendental message through the oral reception. Okay, it enters into our ear and gets into our heart. A challenging attitude cannot help one receive and or realize the transcendental message. Therefore, in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the word Susrushu is used. This word indicates that one should be eager to hear the transcendental message. Okay, very, very eager to hear. The desire to hear with interest is the primary qualification for assimilating transcendental knowledge. So our desire to hear this transcendental knowledge should be there. We should be eager. There was one devotee, newly joined, neophyte devotee. in ISKCON during the Prabhupada time. Prabhupada had already established ISKCON at that time, and it was 1972, 73, and he had also already become famous. He was traveling, throughout the world. So he was busy, quite busy. So that new devotee did not get a chance to speak to Prabhupada. He was waiting. All the senior devotees are crowding him, and he's not getting a chance at all, at least to, say Hare Krishna to Srila Prabhupada. He was also very busy traveling, interviews, recordings, and all these things. So he never got a chance. So one day when he came to the temple, he was sleeping after the program. So that time he was just getting into the car. So all the senior devotees had gathered to see him off. So this devotee thought, now I will not get a chance to speak to Prabhupada. So he just came running in that, pushing, because everybody wanted to have darshan of Srila Prabhupada. So that there was pushing here and there. So in that push, this devotee somehow came right in front of Srila Prabhupada. It was like that he was there right in front of Srila Prabhupada. Then he immediately asked, he was already in the car, Srila Prabhupada, what can I do? How can I be a pure devotee? How can I become a pure devotee? He asked this question. Then you know what Prabhupada said? In one word he answered. Desire. Just one word. And he was very happy. If you have desire, then it will happen. If I want to become a pure devotee, I should have that sincere desire in my heart. Okay? Verbally, if I give lip service, it will not happen. I should have that strong desire. I should have the strong conviction that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And only taking shelter and surrender of Supreme Lord Krishna will I be able to go back home, back to Godhead. And I should have that eagerness to serve the Supreme Lord as he wanted us to serve him. Jivera Surupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas. So that one word, was the instruction given to him, and he has taken that to his soul. The instruction from Srila Prabhupada. So that one word is enough. Sincere desire to serve him. So the transcendental message is received through the ears by the method of submissive hearing.
What is the meaning of transcendental message here?
Transcendental means divya, beyond the three modes. Divya Jnana. Okay, Divya Jnana.
Prabhuji, why you told that if there is a desire, then we can be a pure devotee. But then how can we understand that we have the pure desire from heart, or we are just doing that from mind?
And what is that?
Prabhuji, how do we understand that if we have the pure devotion from heart, or if we don't have the pure devotion?
No, we don't have to understand. Automatically, we'll be experiencing that if we follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the via medium of his pure disciples, like acharyas. And if we follow the bona fide discipline succession and lead a life according to the instruction given in the Shastras and as per the advice given by the acharyas. If you follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, automatically, the revelation will come. And the more we advance spiritually, the more one will become humble. Okay. Otherwise, if we have, there's, Amarendra Prabhu said, we are PhD here and kindergarten here. Got it? We are PhD here and kindergarten here. It should not be like that. Not intellectual knowledge. That's not enough. Whatever knowledge we have, we should apply it. Without application, the knowledge is of no use. Previously, they used to say, knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Okay. We have so much of data collection here, so much of information here, so much of knowledge here. What's the use of that knowledge if we don't put it in practice? So that's why we should not only be PhD here, we should be PhD here in the heart also. Okay. So as we advance spiritually, the person will become more and more meek and humble. Okay, got it?
Yes, Prabhuji, but sometimes what if someone is like showing that he has a lot of devotion to God, but and then going to the big temples and giving donation, but actually he is not, then how is the other, but some other people are also following him, then what will happen?
So what will happen? The progress will be very, very slow. The progress will be very slow. For example, you know, I'm preaching to others. Okay, we should get up early in the morning and chant. Okay, I'm preaching, but I'm not practicing. Will I improve? No. I'm telling cigarette is injurious to health, but I'm smoking. What's the use? No use. So there'll be no advancement, no spiritual progress. So only lip service. So only for show off, I'm going to temple, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but there is no bhav, but there is no prem. Okay, then the progress will be very, very slow. Okay, even going to a temple and all these things is nice. But then, if you really want to progress spiritually, advance spiritually, then you have to put that in practice. Otherwise, it will be very, you'll have to take so many lives for our real progress. Isn't it? Got it?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So, a challenging attitude cannot help one receive. So, we have to be very careful. One should not put forward their doubts and inquiries in a challenging mode. We should be always submissive. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattvadarshina. One should be very submissive. Our inquiry should be very submissive. We cannot ask a question to a senior or to a spiritual master, to acharyas, in a challenging mood. We have to be very careful. One should not ask that. Therefore, in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the word Sushrushu is used. Okay. This word indicates that one should be eager to hear the transcendental message. That eagerness should be there. So that's the primary qualification for assimilating transcendental knowledge. Okay. Why I'm reading this again? Because to emphasize this particular word, Sushrushu, okay, that is eager to hear the transcendental knowledge. It's not something mundane, it's not material knowledge. Material knowledge, what is the use? What's the use of material knowledge? Will we stop our birth and death with material knowledge? No. It may be useful for our survival. Okay, to earn some money, to earn some means, or to earn some name and fame. Okay, materialism. But it is not going to stop our vicious cycle of birth and death. So we should have transcendental knowledge, Divya Gyan. Okay. Only then, when we become a pure devotee, then the cycle of birth and death will be cut. Otherwise, it will not be. We'll have to undergo the vicious cycle of birth and death. Is it clear? Mr. Jyoti?
Yes, Prabhu.
So unfortunately, few people are interested in patiently hearing the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So what Prabhupada says that very, very few people are interested. People are interested in material knowledge. They want to make money. They want to, possess, acquire so many material opulence. They want name, fame, possessions, okay, all these things. But they are least interested in transcendent knowledge. That is the real unfortunate situation of the people in the age of Kali. The process is simple, but the application is difficult. The process is simple, but the application is difficult. Those who are unfortunate will find time to hear ordinary social and political topics and all sort of idle talks. But when they are invited to join an assembly of devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, they are reluctant to attend. So they have, time for everything, for all the mundane things. They can read novels, they can read stories, they can read magazines, newspapers, and they can go to pubs and cinemas and other things. They have got enough time. But they don't have time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or listen to the lectures of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the unfortunate situation of people in the age of Kali. Even if they get chance or even if they are having a lot of time, they will not read or they will not listen to. So that's why it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, Prayena Alpayusha Sabhya Kalau Asmin Yuge Janaha Mandaha Sumanda Madayo Manda Bhagyo Bhadrada. In the age of Kali, people are short-lived, they are lazy, they are less intelligent, they are less fortunate and always disturbed. So these are the disqualifications of the people in the age of Kali. They are getting a golden opportunity because in the age of Kali, our short life is good for us, isn't it? We don't have to live like 10,000 years or 100,000 years like the previous ages. So it's a short life. Within this short life, we can perfect ourselves. If we are really sincere and if we want to eagerly serve the Supreme Lord, then it is possible. But unfortunately, we are not interested. We don't show that eagerness. Or they will indulge in hearing portions of Srimad Bhagavatam they are unfit to hear. Professional reciters of the Bhagavatam indulge in reciting the portions dealing with that confidential pastime Supreme Lord. So some of them who are interested in reading Bhagavatam, they want to read the confidential pastimes of Supreme Lord. They are not matured enough to understand that pastimes. So why they should listen, why they should read that. First of all, we should read and understand the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only then we will understand the confidential pastimes of Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we'll take it cheaply. So we should be careful not to jump into such areas of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. So canto by canto, first canto, second canto, third canto, like that we have to go progressively. We should not jump into 10th canto, any other canto without going through the first, second, third canto progressively. Only then we will be able to know the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we know the greatness, then we will not mistake the activities or confidential pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The bona fide audience fit to hear Srimad Bhagavatam consists of those who have performed many pious deeds. But any intelligent person by thoughtful discretion can come to believe in the assurances of the great sage Vyasadeva and patiently hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam in order to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One need not struggle through the different Vedic stages of realization, for one can quickly be lifted to the position of Paramahamsa simply by agreeing to patiently hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So one can very easily get promoted to the stage of Paramahamsa Paramahamsa means, you know what is the quality of Hamsa. Okay, it has the ability to segregate
Milk and water.
from milk from water. Okay, if milk and water is mixed and given to the swan, it will take only the
Milk.
essence. That is, it will take only the milk, but leave the water. And so they are all called Paramahamsa. Simply by agreeing to patiently hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. The sages of Naimisaranya told Siddha Goswami that they intensely desired to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So the sages of Naimisaranya, headed by Shaundaka Rishi, they were very, very eagerly wanting to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Siddha Goswami. They were hearing from Siddha Goswami about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they were never satiated by these discussions. People who are really attached to Krishna never stop wanting to hear more and more about him. Okay? So there is no satiation because they want to hear more and more about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because that alone will serve the purpose of human life. Nothing else. They know it very well. That's why they are asking Siddha Goswami to explain more and more about the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna and his pastimes with his intimate or confidential devotees. Okay. So any questions or any comments from this?
Prabhuji, you told that the Paramhans separates the milk from the water and then it takes the milk and leaves the water. So does that mean that the milk is more important?
Yeah, the here means it means that the essence. Okay, we have to take the essence. So the milk like transcendent knowledge it should be accepted, and the water like material knowledge should be rejected. So if water and milk is mixed, let us assume that milk is the transcendent knowledge and water is the material knowledge. Okay, it has the ability, the swan has the ability to segregate that. Like that, the pure devotee should segregate and take only the essence, that is milk, that is the transcendent knowledge, and leave the water like material knowledge. So this is an example given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. They are called Paramahamsa. Okay. They are compared to Hans. So the devotees also like that. They will neglect, they will reject all the material knowledge. They will accept only the transcendent knowledge that serve the purpose of human life. That is, what is the purpose of human life? Going back home, back to Godhead. Is it clear?
Yes, no.
So any other questions? Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
one
Yeah.
more question I had that you told that in the Kali Yuga, the humans' life are short, so it would be very good for us to go back to our home, that is to the God. But Prabhuji, in the past few decades, like 50 years, the life expectancy is increasing. Why is this happening in the Kali Yuga? Because the life expectancy should be getting lower.
Okay, see, the average maximum a person will live up to 100. Okay, some may die even at the early age, young age, just immediately after birth, the child dies. Okay, these are all happening only in Kali Yuga. So maximum person will live up to 100. You can live up to 20, 30, 40, 50, or but maximum 100. So it is same. You cannot live 1,000 years. You cannot live 10,000 years. You cannot live 100,000 years. It was possible in the earlier age. In Satya people used to live for 100,000 years. Treta got 10,000 years. Dwapara Yuga 1,000 years. In Kali Yuga, maximum 100 years. And as the age progresses, the life's duration will reduce. Towards the end of Kali Yuga, people will live up to around 22 years. That's all. That's the maximum life. So it reduces. So it is since we know that our lifespan is very short, we should not delay this devotional service process. We should very intensely practice devotional service and finish our business in this life itself. We should not carry forward in the next to the next life. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
Any other questions?
Sages of Naimi Sharad Napuji, what is that all?
There are many sages, some 60,000 sages or something, I don't remember exactly. And headed by a main sage by name Shaunaka Rishi. Okay, so on behalf of all the sages, Shaunaka Rishi is asking questions to Siddha Goswami to explain in detail. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we'll stop here because after 5-10 minutes they will join for chanting session. I'll stop here. So please make a note, Mayuri Mataji. Not Chaitanya, therefore advised.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, there's only next week we'll finish it because we 2-3 paras. Okay, so I'll stop the recording also.